We'll call on Ms. Rakisa of Social Watch Philippines.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, the Senate Committee on Finance, and fellow CSO colleagues. I speak on behalf of Social Watch Philippines and our partners under the Alternative Budget Initiative. This is a coalition of more than 100 civil society organizations, many of whom represent the poor and marginalized groups, who for nearly 2 decades, we have been working to promote citizens' participation in the national budget process. Since the 13th Congress, we have secured tangible gains by working closely with members of Congress and the executive, so that we were able to secure tangible gains in raising the budgets for health, education, social protection, as well as child protection. However, since we were only invited yesterday, we were not able to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. Nevertheless, our intervention today has 2 parts. First, we will present our observations and recommendations on the worsening problem of graft and corruption and the urgent need for transparency, accountability in the budget process, including improving public ethics. However, second, we present ours and our partners' budget proposals in education, health, social protection, and child and mental health. Since the good senator has mentioned, if we free up public funds from certain items, where can it be reallocated? It is in that regard that we will make concrete proposals.
The Social Watch Philippines Youth Group urged senators to pass the Universal Healthcare Bill along with Senate Bill 1605 or the excise tax on tobacco products. The group stressed that the Senate should support the passage of the 2 bills to boost the country's healthcare. Charlie Barredo will tell us why.
The members of the Social Watch Philippines Youth Group gathered outside the Senate building on Tuesday to urge senators to pass the Universal Healthcare Bill. The group stresses that the passage of these 2 bills should be prioritized in order to boost the healthcare in the country, especially to those who do not have access nor the means to get proper healthcare.
Ngayon po kasi hindi pa rin siya nagaganap na batas at naniniwala kami na kailangan po ito ng mga mamamayan, lalong-lalo na ng mga nasa laylayan ng lipunan na walang kapasidad na pumunta sa mga ospital, no?
According to Del Polanco, the SWP Youth Group coordinator, there are many flaws in the current universal healthcare system in the country that the government should address. He stressed that the passage of this bill will enable the public to get checkups before their condition worsens. Polanco also underscored herbal medication in the provinces is still being practiced and that prescriptions are being given to anyone even without conducting checkups. The SWP Youth Group also called on the lawmakers to approve Senate Bill 1605 or the excise tax on tobacco products. The group also adds that cigarette taxes should be increased and be utilized as funds for universal health care.
Yes, we're pushing for tax tobacco to the max, and so far, sa ngayon po, ang sinusuportahan po namin, yung pinakamataas na proposal, yung kay Senator JV na 90 pesos increase sa per pack ng mga sigarilyo.
Si Dr. Maria Victoria Raquiza, ang co-convener ng Social Watch Philippines, kasama natin. Ma'am, live kayo sa Armin DZXL Manila, si Lourdes po ito. Doktora? Yes, ma'am, si Lourdes po ito. Kumusta po?
Okay naman. Narinig mo ba ako ng maayos?
Opo, ma'am. Loud and clear. Ma'am, okay. Bigyan ko, tanong ko lang po muna sa inyo, no? Nakikita niyo ba yung mga pagdinig ngayon kaugnay sa budget, particular sa Vice President? Kasi yung sa Vice President's Office, ma'am, opinion niyo lang, no? Tinatanong siya, para sa kanyang budget pero ayaw niyang sabihin kung saan po napupunta, etc. etc. Meron po kayong hiling na sana po kayo maimbitahan din sa mga pagdinig ng bicameral committee kaugnay po sa mga budget. Why, ma'am?
Can you ask your question again? Napakabilis. Pakibanggit ulit.
Ma'am, kayo po ay dumadaluho ba sa mga pagdinig sa bicameral?
Actually, the bicameral conference committee meetings are held behind closed doors. Hindi yan ino-open sa publiko. At walang mga public available official recordings yan. Kaya madami kaming agam-agam kasi hindi namin alam anong nangyayari at pinag-uusapan dyan sa bicam na yan. At madaming deals ang nangyayari.
Okay, ma'am, sa madaling
So
salita.
we're not invited to that sa mga meetings na yan. Hindi kami pwedeng pumasok. At ang panawagan pa nga namin ay buksan na yung bicameral conference committee para maging transparent at accountable ang mga legislators natin.
Ma'am, ano po ang tugon ng ating mga opisyal?
Ano ang tugon?
Sinubukan na po ba ninyo, ma'am, na ilapit yung inyong hinaing na sana yung mga katulad niyo pong grupo ay papasukin kahit makinig man lamang sa mga ganitong usapin para malaman po ninyo kung saan po napupunta yung mga budget o et cetera na mula po sa pera ng bayan?
Actually, madami mga bills, mga panukala tungkol sa citizens' participation sa budget process. At nagpa-participate at na-invite din naman kami dito sa paggawa ng bill na to at lagi namin nilalagay doon na i-open up na ang bicameral conference committee meeting sa publiko at i-invite ang mga NGOs, mga people's organizations para ma-observe din namin at kung pwede nga gawin pa nga kaming resource persons paminsan-minsan kung yung topic ay may na naman kaming posisyon at sasabihin. Pero walang nangyayari sa mga panukala na to at nabubuhay at namamatay sa kongreso na yon habang so panibago na naman Congress, panibagong bill. It's been it's almost a decade. Yung citizens' participation sa budget bill ay talagang walang traction Walang pumipick up at hindi nagiging batas. So yun ang problema namin. Ilang beses at madami na kaming nakausap na legislators. Ang problema, hindi siya nagkakaroon ng traction sa loob ng Kongreso. Dinededma lang kami at best. Minsan nga masama pa ang tingin sa amin ng ilang mga kongresista kasi very jealous sila sa power of the purse. Tingin nila that is really their purview at hindi maganda ang siguro hindi ko alam but ayaw nilang ibuksan yung budget making process.
Ipaglaban ang universal healthcare ngayong umaga po na hindi tayo nandito para sa sarili natin. Nandito tayo para sa taong bayan, para ipaglaban ang kanilang hanapbuhay at ang kanilang kalusugan. Isama rin natin yung ating mga minamahal na magsasaka. Pinaglalaban din natin nila. Kailangan malaman nila bakit ba sila binabarat ng tobacco company, di ba? Bakit tuloy ang kita ng tobacco company pero naghihirap ang mga magsasaka? Hindi yan dahil sa buwis. Yan ay dahil sa mga tobacco company. So, palakpakan ho natin ang mga ating kasamang magsasaka sa kabila ng daan. So, marami hong batas na ginagawa sa Senado at sa Kongreso. Napakaraming batas para sa kalusugan. May batas para sa cancer. May batas para sa mental health. May batas para sa AIDS. May universal health care. Pero lahat po ito, salita lang at laway lang kung hindi natin lalagyan ng laman. At ang laman na kailangan ilagay sa lahat ng batas na ito ay ang tobacco tax bill. Ito ho ang mother of all health bills. Kung hindi ho natin maipasa ang pagtaas ng buwis sa sigarilyo, sayang lang ho lahat ng ibang batas para sa kalusugan. Kaya ituloy natin ang paglaban. Hindi po ito matatapos today. Tuloy-tuloy po ito sa darating na mga araw at sa mga darating na taon. Mabuhay po ang Pilipinas!
Right. So the Social Watch Philippines is really just a network, no, of various CSO groups who came together. So ang Social Watch Philippines was born in 1996, 97.
Okay.
The prelude to its birth was the UN Conference on the World Summit for Social Development.
Oh, yeah.
Diba,
In
WSSD.
92?
That was in 95.
95. Okay.
It held in 95, but prior to 95, there were a series of
Right.
preparatory conferences,
Right.
94 leading to the March Copenhagen Conference or the World Summit for Social
95.
Development in 95. Okay, so one of our immediate tasks in terms of the monitoring and watchdogging, if you like, was to come up with a citizens report on the fulfillment of the commitments. So we came out with what we call the shadow report. We started out
Annual
as a
yan,
shadow.
di ba?
Yeah,
Oo.
it was and we should show the photos later
Oo,
on.
we will,
diba?
we will.
Yeah, kasi right. So, we have been doing this budget engagement since 2006, 2007. And, year in and year out,
Yeah.
whether there's funding or none, committed na tayo dyan no? So, we continue to do that. And, there have been two major milestones in recent Philippine history na nagpumutok yung issue ng corruption. So, there was the 2013 scandal, Napoles.
Yes,
scandal,
yes, yes. Oo.
Yeah, and then there was that Million People's March. And then, itong last year.
Trillion.
Ngayon, trillion.
Ngayon, trillion.
Yan.
Anong
Oo,
dati?
Nanon,
Ah.
dati, million. Ngayon, trillion People's March, di ba? Na yung perang lumabas, hindi nila account. Kasi tinitignan nila ilan ang beneficiaries. Kung, in the instances na may beneficiaries list pa. Kasi
Oo.
ngayon wala na. In many instances, wala ng beneficiary list. Walang mga listahan. Pinamimigay na lang. But in instances na may beneficiary list,
Right.
hindi nila ma-account ang laki ng disparity between yung na-ilustay
At yung bilang.
na nakakakuha. So nakita nila ang laki ng nawawala. So these are the two sources. So ang nakikita ngayon natin, no? There are three particular types of funding ngayon sa national budget na talagang in a way nababoy. If you like, talagang
Sige.
so this would be nakita natin in the last year, talagang nababoy in the last year. Kasi election So ginamit talaga ito for election, and I can give you some data around this and stories. And then this year pa rin nakita natin. So this would be yung medical assistance. Na
MAIFIP?
Yung MAIFIP. So MAIFIP stands for Medical Assistance to Indigent and Financially Incapacitated Patients. MAIFIP. Dati MAIP yan
Oo,
Ngayon
oo.
naging MAIFIP. Nakukuha yan sa DOH.
Okay.
And then yung TUPAD.
Tupad. Oo.
This is a workers emergency program na nakukuha sa DOLE, Department of Labor and Employment. And then yung sinasabing AICS. Ito yung Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation from DSWD. Ang laki ng budget ng MAIFIP, 51.6 billion. Ang DOLE, 22
Tupad.
billion.
Okay.
And sa TUPAD. And then yung AICS sa DSWD, halos 64 billion. No? Originally sa NEP, ang combined amounts niyan was only 63 billion.
Doble.
Dumoble after dumaan sa
Congress at inapprove. Hindi to binito.
Oo.
Ang gusto sana natin, at the minimum, back to NEP
Right.
levels.
Oo.
At yan yung sinabi natin sa Senate na back to NEP levels. Hindi nangyari. Ang nangyari, itong hiningi ng House, tumaas. Itong hiningi ng Senate,
Tumaas pa.
yes, tumaas pa. And then yung sa BICAM, mas mataas pa. Bigger than what we still were asking for. So talagang kagimbal-gimbal, nakakapanlumo at nakakapanghina. Kasi alam mo, ang lumabas sa Senate Blue Ribbon hearing on these budgets last year, ang kwento ni Mayor Benjamin Magalong
Yeah, of Baguio.
of Baguio, ang naririnig na reports na umiikot during the campaign of 2025,
Yeah.
diba?
Oo,
May election
election.
season. Merong 30-30-30 na umiikot. And ang ibig sabihin ng 30-30-30, if you are a candidate ng bagong Bangon Philippines
Oo.
administration,
Yeah.
diba?
Oo.
If you organize a campaign sortie for the candidates around the Philippines,
Oh, parang
You
narinig
get-
ko nga yan.
you get 30 million
Right.
from DOH, 30 million from DOLE, 30 million from MAIFIP or MAIP, 30 million from TUPAD, and 30 million from AIX. 30-30-30. Kung nag-attempt ka lang, participant ka lang, at hindi ka nag-organize, it's 777.
7 million, 7 million, 7
7 million from AIX, TUPAD, and MAIFIP. No? And ang kwento ni Mayor Magalong, ang sinasabi din ng mga agencies, wala silang magawa pag tumawag na si Mayor,
Talaga.
pag tumawag na si Congressman, pag tumawag na si Senator. Oy, may pera ako dyan, meron akong 20 million,
Pera
meron akong
ko,
30 million, yes. Pupunta dyan itong mga taong to, pa-release na lang. Ganon. At this 30-30-30 practice and 777 million practice was also conferred and affirmed by Congressman Toby Chanco in national television. No? So talagang, and then ang lumalabas pa, walang malinaw na beneficiary list, walang malinaw na guidelines sa pag-release ng funding.
Tapos paano yung accounting nun? Audit?
So the accounting
Wala yun rin.
is extremely
Oo,
problematic.
oo.
Extremely problematic. Pero, in a way, my heart goes out to our civil servants
Oo.
who are middle rank, low
Right.
rank, who may be following the rules. Pero pag
Tapos
tumawag na si congressman,
Wala sila.
wala na sila magawa. Because as one of our professors in NCPAG, she has a book around that, si Levy Carino, we have a disempowered bureaucracy. Disempowered vis-a-vis our politicians. Diba? And yet, in this whole scandal, yung flood control scandal, sino ang hinohol to Congress Blue Ribbon Kit? Kundi yung mga rank and
Oo,
file ang
oo,
pinapagalitan,
oo.
ang pinapahiya. Pero yung decision makers on the use of that fund, on the release, are probably sitting in their air-conditioned offices.
Or overseas.
Or
In
overseas.
vacation.
Exactly. So my heart, especially since I teach in NCPAG,
right.
and they are our students, they are very disheartened. They're very disheartened, they're very demoralized, and they're scared.
Yeah, and year in, year out, ganun ang
Ganun ang
mangyayari.
patakaran, no?
So ikaw na, yun nga, disempowered, you just live with it.
You live with it.
Oo.
If you can leave, no, or before your
So,
retirement,
if you can.
yeah,
Oo.
exactly. But if you can't,
Oo.
i-endure mo na lang Kasi hirap pa naman ng buhay, di ba? Ang iisipin mo na lang yung retirement benefits
Oo,
mo.
eh.
Di ba?
But then the entire country goes to the dogs.
Exactly. And because it's so demoralized, I understand right now because of what's happened, there is massive demoralization in many agencies. And so productivity will go down. Diba? At so many levels. Diba?
Minsan nga may, halimbawa, we partner with a government agency. Parang nahihirapan ding mag-release ng funds, halimbawa. Kasi baka
Takot na
masilip
takot.
sila, baka
Yes.
ma-audit sila, makuha sila.
Exactly.
Di ba, ginagawa lang naman nila yung trabaho. Diba?
Exactly. And that was true even before the flood control.
Yeah,
You
even
can
before.
imagine what it's like now. The level of cautiousness, the level of fear, the level of wala nang gana.
Oo,
Di ba?
oo.
So yun.
Trabahuhin ko na lang the rest of my,
Exactly.
diba?
Tapusin. Oo.
Oo,
Kaya
hanggang
It's
mag-retire.
situations like that na can you blame in a way the bureaucracy for being uninspired.
Oo.
Diba? We always blame the bureaucracy for being inefficient and corrupt. But can you, in a way, blame your rank and file when their bosses
Wala naman
are
silang
paragons of
control.
corruption?
Oo, paragons.
Diba? Are paragon, diba?
Oo.
So yung role models nila, ang mas corrupt.
Oo.
Diba? So talagang, minsan, while generally government salaries are relatively, have improved,
Right,
with rising inflation and all that.
Hindi pa rin humabol.
In some ways.
Oo.
So they're incentivized. They're incentivized to engage in all kinds of, and to be not the most efficient because of all of these bad practices. So,
That's another way to look at it, no? Yung
Absolutely.
mga tao sa gobyerno. na
Yeah.
Hindi naman nila kasalanan or wala naman silang control over what's happening in their department.
and by and large, kasi, many of them with very good developmental mandates in DA,
Oo.
in DTI.
Right.
These are mga
Oo.
these are agencies that are supposed to promote the country's productivity, which is the path to sustainable eradication of poverty, diba? And inequality. The budgets of most of these agencies are practically pang MO hanggang
Yeah.
to maintain their operations. But to be able to escalate, to level up, and to really go into innovative, big-scale type of projects that will mean a lot in terms of poverty reduction, in terms of improved productivity, wala. Diba? So what's my point? My point is, because they are so under-budgeted, you can't expect them to be the most efficient. Diba?
Or to deliver on their
To
mandates.
deliver exactly
Oo.
because they're in fact
Oo.
I did a study on the Small Business Corporation,
SBC.
SBC, which provides the credit for MSMEs,
Okay.
diba? They have been pleading national
Talaga?
government for additional budgets due them kasi when they were created they were promised this much. It's in the law.
Nasa batas.
It was never, the full amount was never given to them. So they're bending over backwards to meet their mandates in the best way they can, operating under the hardest because they're constantly under budgeted. They were never given the budget they were promised for,
Yeah.
and they have targets that they can barely meet because they're not given the sufficient budget that they requested. And yet they look at other programs and they ask, bakit? Okay naman na nagbibigay ka doon. Bakit sa amin na napakalaga?
Hindi.
Budgets for MSMEs ang liit. So, actually, the budget tells you a story of what the real
correct.
development priorities are.
Correct.
It's not in building, it's not really in job creation, especially decent work. Diba? Because the job creating, the agencies in charge of job creation and strengthening are in DTI,
Correct.
MSME Bureau, are in DA, are to some like DNR, but their budgets comparatively are way below what they need.
Halimbawa, the same week the same day actually, January 8 ng ABI workshop. In the morning, merong DA workshop, strategic consultation with CSOs, development partners, and the private sector. Pinakita ni Yusek Asis Perez yung budget ng DA. At pang ilan siya sa mga departments? Pang 5 siya. Or even lower yata. Pero ang mandate niya, di ba? Food security
Exactly.
ng buong bansa.
Yeah.
Ano yan? Magugutom ang mga tao because you do not get the sufficient budget for you to do your job.
Yeah. In the meantime, we have contracted a loan with the ADB, around 400 million for food security, which we will be paying for the next 29 years. Yung parang Laban Gutom program, parang ganun
Okay.
under the
It's an
SWD.
ADB loan.
It's an ADB loan worth 400 million, which we'll be paying for 2 decades, I think, 20 plus years, to fight poverty. So utang ito, why don't we use that money, whatever money we can, to increase our productivities, agriculture, to promote food security, diba?
That we don't need to pay,
So that we don't need to borrow.
Oo.
And we're paying not just for the loan, but for the interest earnings.
Exactly.
I was just talking to our friends in the Freedom from Debt Coalition, and we also found out through our own research that the national debt because our budget now
That's
is 6
another
trillion.
issue altogether.
6
Oo,
trillion?
oo.
Our national debt is 2 trillion a year for the last several years. So it's easily 1/3
Of
the
our
total-
national budget.
So our total debt, I mean the entire debt is about 16, 17 trillion.
Okay.
Yung debt service lang.
The debt service.
Debt service lang is 2 trillion a
Per
year.
year. Berna, babayad ka ng utang
Imagine.
for the rest of your life.
Exactly. And part of that utang is this laban gutom
Oo.
that for food security.
Eh dapat tayo nga mismo ang
that should be
nagpa-prioritize.
just the funding for that.
Mm.
Because this is one thing that the flood control scandal taught us. What did we learn? It is not true that there is no fiscal space. They will always tell you, ang ganda ng proposals
Pero walang
nyo,
pera.
walang iho, there is fiscal constraints. Walang pera for additional budget for health, education, agriculture. They always tell us walang pera. Now we can tell them
Yeah.
that's a load of
Yeah.
fill in the blanks. That's a load of because there is money. And we saw that flood control pa lang easily 1 trillion. Easily
Laki
1
nun.
trillion. Diba? Eh, isang agency pa lang yan. DPWH. Ano pa
Oh
kayong
my
ibang
God.
agencies?
Na meron ding
Yeah.
same
Yes.
issues.
Yes, may mga famous agencies naman that
Yeah.
that are known for that, diba? So
Oh
yon.
my God.
So how much of our money goes to corruption of our budget? How much goes to debt servicing? Which is another form of corruption if you like. Diba? Kasi ibang kumikita niyan public funds na hindi naman kailangan. There's something distorted about our public policy making process. I hope I'm not sufficiently depressing you.
You have 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, goes with the weather.
OMG.
I know.
And that's why,
What?
unless may notes ka pa.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, no? One of the things kasi that we highlighted in this budget process for the 2026, nagulat na lang kami. Nang tinignan namin, ano ba yung nasa program appropriations na yan? Kasi nga issue lagi yung UA. We were shocked to see that yung program to finance yung car industry natin,
Okay.
which is the country's attempt at
Oo.
industrial
Right.
policy,
Oo.
was taken out of the DTI agency budget and moved to unprogrammed. Okay? Bakit nandyan yung CARS program payment for arrears? Bakit nandyan yung funding for the arrays program, which is really CARS? Bakit nandyan? Eh, dati nasa DTI. The fact that it was moved means that it was deprioritized. Kasi pag nandito sa agency budget, assured ang funding.
Oo.
Dito, only when there's
Wala.
money.
Oo.
So na-deprioritize. And then the
I
ultimate killing of the program was binito pa ni Presidente. Diba? So, we argue that our one attempt at developmental policy, which is to promote industrial policy through this program, tinanggal pa. So the budget in this sense is anti-developmental. I'm sure you have a lot to say about DA. How developmental is the budget for DA?
Well, ngayon, ang malaking bahagi, dahil ngayon sinabi mo kanina, yung from DPWH dinala sa DA, yung FMR nila is a substantial part of the department
Yes.
budget. Tapos, well, on one hand, okay naman na meron silang dedicated, parang online monitoring, parang, ang tag mo doon, internet-based, na monitoring of the FMRs. So, tas interactive siya. Ikaw na mamamayan, pwede kang mag-report, yung project na ito dito, ito na yung, pwede kang makimonitor. Mag-upload ka ng pictures, ng iyong reports, sariling reports, ganyan. Pero that's for FMR. Siguro dahil yun yung may malaking budget at
Kasi infra.
si infra. Pero may isang part of the workshop participants na nagsabi, bakit FMR lang yung may ganito? Sana yung iba pang bahagi ng
Sabi.
budget items
Yes.
ng DA ay
Yes.
may citizens monitoring.
Yeah.
Ganyan. Tapos yung napag-usapan natin itong sa workshop for agriculture, yung organic agriculture. Na for PRM, isang malaking advocacy agenda ito, no? Dahil from sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture, organic agriculture, yan, range na yan ay pinopromote natin. Not for many reasons, for human health, for soil health, for water health, for the health of our air, ganyan. Pero sabi nga ng kasama natin from Task Force Mapalad, hindi siya priority budget sa DA at maliit lang. So kailangan ng ganitong, nakalimutan ko na yung figures, but we need a certain level of funding annually para yung sinasabi natin tungkol sa organic agriculture at may batas pa nga tayo, will be fully supported.
Yeah.
At marami ng, yung, may market na rin, may advocates na rin, may practitioners na rin na growing for organic agriculture. Kaya mas magandang masuportahan natin to, di ba? And related to food security, related to environmental health, ecological health. Pero yun nga, baka hindi siya yun ang priority.
Yeah. Hindi talaga. Kasi at the end of the day, prioritization can be measured
By the budget.
By the budget. It's really the epitome, or the operationalization of your budget, of your priorities in
Of your
government.
agenda.
The budget is the concrete expression of budget of developmental priorities. So it's really not.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Oo, naman,
Bawasan
oo.
lang nila yung farm to market.
Oo. Yeah.
Kasi it bloated eh.
Oo.
It bloated. It was higher than what was
see.
originally asked for. Diba? By-camp insertion eh. Diba? So, kailangan talagang bantayan. And sabi nila, yung mga dashboard, yung mga monitoring
Yeah, right.
online,
Dashboard.
pwede yang lokohin eh. Pwede yang ano. So there's
Manipulate.
manipulate. Oo. So there's no substitute for talagang pinupuntahan nyo at tinitingnan talaga kung based with what was submitted and seeing and comparing. So really the challenge for us citizens is to develop our capacity to do budget tracking and monitoring, which is not easy.
Oo.
Which is why we are been talking about if we can sit down with COA, kasi meron silang citizens audit, diba?
Okay.
If we
I
can,
like that.
yeah, may citizens audit sila. If we can try to enhance the partnership and look for innovative ways that we can work together, and then we can also work with some experts, no, in this area, like the ones who put up the citizens audit in COA, sila Grace Pulibutan.
Okay.
You know, they're accessible to us. Sina Heidi Mendoza.
Oo,
Baka
right.
they can help us, you know, with our budget tracking. That's something that we can explore.
Tapos
diba, moving
i-localize
forward.
natin, di ba? Kasi nasa
Exactly.
community yung mga project, yung mga
Exactly.
pinupondohan.
Yeah. Now, you know, we tried budget tracking Social Watch in 2008 at the local level. Kung yung budget na ipanalo natin sa DepEd, pumunta down sa local.
Okay.
So we went to one of the provinces to find out. And then we had a research team that went down and started asking questions sa DepEd and other officials. When we were talking about the programs, very open sila. When we started talking about the budget, they became very hostile.
Oh my God.
They became very hostile to the point that our research team felt na mukhang nanganganib na yung mga buhay nila if they continued asking the questions. Yeah. Yeah. Remember tayo sa PRM, we were very active in the local development councils.
Yeah.
In 91 that we set up
Oo,
And then we had a big concerted effort to pasukin yung mga POs natin pumasok sa local development councils. And we were doing that in North Cotabato when I was based
Nueva
there.
Vizcaya.
Nueva Vizcaya, we were all doing that. But at that time, we were not yet talking budgets.
Wala.
Wala pa ang
Wala.
budget. So, okay pa usapan. Okay pa yung usapan about programs.
Programs pa lang eh.
Yeah. So, I can only imagine if you begin to talk about budgets.
Kung ano na
At the
magiging
local
itsura
level.
nun, dynamics.
Yeah. Kasi, alam mo, the hand of government is felt less the farther you are from central.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, if certain forces become more hostile, you can be asking certain things that they don't like in the rural area. And your life might be in danger to the point, kasi you're talking hard funding na diba? To the point, and there can be so much impunity. Because there are certain areas that we used to work
Correct.
in.
Na
Wala nang gobyerno
wala sa
minsan
radar ng ano.
Oo, wala na. So, much as we'd like to think about sa local level, let's do
right.
that. The,
There's a
politi-
risk na.
the political economy
Oo.
at the local level may not be conducive to transparency. Which is why the data shows that that CSO participation in local development councils, but generally, it's below 50% yung activated. And when there are CSOs, ito yung CSOs ni Mayor, asawa ni Mayor, hardly legitimate POs talaga.
Tsaka naalala ko Maribik, di ba, dyan sa mga local development councils na yan, ang pinag-uusapan in terms of budget ay yung 20% development fund.
Yeah.
Meron pa yan, ano?
Yes.
So parang, sige ha, may 20% na kayo, huwag nyo nang tignan to. Parang gano'n.
Yeah.
Na-realize ko yan ngayon.
Pero, I don't know about your experience. Hindi ko inabot yan na pinag-uusapan yung 20%.
Kasi
pinag-uusapan namin.
Nagpo-propose ng mga projects.
Sila.
Ang CSOs na pwede mong kunin sa 20% development fund. Ngayon, depende kung sinong CSOs yung nakaupo sa LDCs, di ba?
Because ang lumalabas, most LDCs are not activated. So that's already a case. In fact, mga 40% na lang or less. In that 40%, yung NCSOs na yan ay mga gonggos, di ba? GO, NGO type of CSOs. So si Mayor din, or pamilya ni Mayor, pamilya ni ano, ang nakikinabang sa pondong yan. So that will already tell you how safe your life will be if you're a legitimate NGO or PO asking the hard funding questions. These are the political realities that we are up against. So sometimes, I think that maganda. I mean, it's maganda to think about local governance as closer to the people and all that. Sa totoo lang, the UP School of Economics came up with a study on public health outcomes. What is the result of public health outcomes after 25 years of devolution? Sabi nila, let us devolve DOH to the LGU level because the LGUs are in the best position to know what the health needs are. They're in the best position to come up with a plan and all that. The finding is, after 25 years of devolution, public health outcomes have declined, especially for the poor. And they produced a very good book on that, which can be another topic.
Yeah. So it's not the answer.
It's not the way.
Always.
No, because look at the political economy of the place. Where does power reside?
Kasi iba-iba naman yan.
And by and large, where does power reside? At the local area. Diba? So even when economic decisions have to be made about the area, who decides?
Exactly.
Who decides? Now, studies show that poverty reduction and affluence is possible under at least two conditions. One, if you have a modernizing local elite who's developmental, and if you have a very strong civil society social movements in that area. If you have those two conditions, chances for a good development agenda that will reduce poverty and create broad-based affluence, the chances are higher. So now we have to check which among our provinces and regions
Ang may ganon?
ang may develop modernizing local elite and have a strong, vibrant, lumalaban na CSO social movement.
But your local elite are also the
the
governors.
Exactly. Until those conditions are met.
May apo ka na, Berna. Tinatrabaho mo pa yun.
So just to wrap up, my last point on the 2026 budget. So if you ask us, Social Watch Philippines, naging mas transparent ba yung budget process for 2026, learning from 2025? Our answer is there have been attempts, but it has largely been performative. And we even see some
Ulit,
insincerity.
performative.
Performative, and if you like, even insincere. No? What would we say by attempts? The House leadership officially invited CSOs, some CSOs, to be a partner of the budget process. And they invited us, a social watch, to be one of
Yeah.
them. However, when we ask ano yung terms of engagement, pwede ba kaming magsalita at mag-present din ng findings namin at recommendations, they said no.
So, appear ka lang doon.
Appear ka lang doon, observe ka lang, but hindi ka pwede magsalita.
Oo.
And we felt, you're here, you are reaching out to us,
Oo.
and because you want to show the world that you are now transparent and inclusive, and yet you won't allow us to speak. But in previous Congresses, 13th Congress, 14th Congress, 18th Congress, we were not just invited, they really asked us to speak and present.
Correct.
Diba? So this is a step back. So, kami sa Social Watch, we said, thank you, but no thank you. Diba?
No, that's why. No, balita ko yan.
Yes, yes. Thank you, but no thank you. But others went. They joined. Fine. Fine, no problem. There are many ways to work together.
Right.
But for us, we felt our energies could be placed elsewhere. Ganon. So that's one. And then number two, while we do, I just have to acknowledge na sa Senate in particular, na invite eventually tayo sa Senate Finance hearing to present. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Senator Lacson
Oh, yeah. Spent the whole day.
Not him himself, but his office.
right.
No? And then third, we found out that Senator Ivy Marcos officially endorsed many of our proposals.
Really? Oh.
Education and health. And we saw her letter from her office giving it to the Senate Finance Committee. Yeah.
Oh.
So there's that. So we maganda din na i-acknowledge. So there's that. But having said that, at the end of the day, kasi it's what's decided upon.
Right. No, it's what's signed.
It's what's signed. So not in the lead up to what's signed is the BICAM meetings. And there they went through the process of opening it up through live streaming. At nakakatuwa din naman kasi madami tayong natutunan. Kaya lang, many of the decisions that were made happened off camera without any microphone, audio on. So we noticed that they would turn off
televised.
you can see them. They would say, okay, we will stop the audio, and then you will see them have side meetings, go into huddles,
Yeah.
turn off the audio for 2 to 3 hours.
At
Pagbalik, may decision na. So sometimes some of my colleagues were telling me, they wanted to scream because it was like harap-harapan.
yeah.
They were engaging, wheeling and dealing, but you could see them. You couldn't engage. You couldn't say anything. And then when they come on screen, may last-minute adjustments na nangyari. Wala yan sa BICAM, wala yan sa Senate report, sa GAB, wala yan sa House GAB. Nandyan na sa BICAM. Paano nangyari yun? The discussions, the deliberations that took place were done in these side huddles, in these side meetings, no? Off cam, off audio, no? And they're just reported, diba? So in a sense, ano to? Diba? So in that sense, we say, let's stop this pretense at being really transparent, because it really just also increased our frustration.
Parang nang asal
At
pa.
being, exactly, we felt unseen, we felt unheard, and then here you are going around strutting and saying, now we're so transparent, and it's a squeaky clean budget. Parang ang sakit eh. Ang sakit lunukin. Kasi we were there all throughout. Yun. So in terms of the content, diba? The hard pork was still there, infra and all that, special purpose funds, discretionary funding, and then the pork na ginamit for patronage politics.
Yung mga,
Ayuda na binaboy kasi nga ginamit for personal interest. And then third, yung what we really lament is the one attempt at industrial policy.
Ay,
Tinanggal pa. First, it was downgraded to UA, and then eventually.
sayang, no?
So our summary statement is that the 2026 budget is pork laden still, it is patronage-driven, and it's an anti-developmental budget.
Pork-laden,
Patronage-driven.
patronage-driven, and
Anti-development.
anti-development.
Because it doesn't really promote uh, decent work,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
which is the key. It's the most sustainable pathway out of poverty, to reduce inequality. It's the promotion of decent work for those of us who can work. And then social protection comes in for those who cannot work.
Question lang po before we dive into another session, another topic to discuss, which is yung Social Watch Philippines clusters. Kasi nabanggit niyo na po kanina yung health, yung education, pero what's more into that? So, parang question ko lang po is, for the youth na nanonood sa atin ngayon, either individual sila, or estudyante pa lang sila, or wala silang involvement or any commitment to an organization, mapa-youth organization man yan, or passion project organization, yung mga ganyan. So, paano po natin sila may engage, or ano po yung mga action items na they can do on their own or with the organization na involved sila to really makialam dito sa budget issues na to, and what Social Watch Philippines is trying to do.
Well, actually, in the past, meron din naman tayong mga engagement with mostly students in schools like in PUP and in the University Belt, some of the schools there. And many of them, then and now, we have been finding out, ang main interest nila is how can they improve higher learning education or higher learning outcome. So, they have a lot of issues so gusto nilang aralin yung budget ng SUCs. And how it's being used, how to make sure that it's much more relevant in terms of content to what, and that will prepare them. Gusto lang one of their biggest issues now is safe spaces. Right? Safe spaces on campus.
Yes.
You would know this, di ba? Some of their issues have to do with, ngayon, they're very bothered by what they're hearing on corruption. So they would like to know. In fact, in some of these universities, particularly in SUCs, parang may mga diskaya like DPWH issues na nangyayari sa campus na yan. So, they would like to know more. So when we had a press con...
But that's good, ah?
Yeah, actually. When we had a press con 2 months ago, we invited a student leader from UP Diliman to speak. At ito yung mga issues na ni-raise nila. Including yung safe spaces, including yung militarization on campus. Yun pa rin yung mga issues. Lalo na ngayon, commercialization and privatization of services on campus. Diba? Kasi many of the facilities are being contracted out now to the private sector. Imbes na yung government pa rin ang nag-run ng mga facilities na to.
Being a
Which
state
means-
university.
Exactly. So, a lot of the food, yung mga kahit school supplies,
Right,
aakyat,
Accommodation, yung mga dorms.
dorms, exactly. So, very real to. Yun. So, tama. Privatization of public facilities, commercialization of services on campus.
And facilities.
Yes, exactly. So these are some of the issues. So yung age-old goal of increasing budgetary resources for education.
Yan. Yan ang call ng mga estudyante.
And to keep them public. To keep these universities public. Diba? Kasi ang ibig sabihin nun, ang pinaprioritize yung public interest, hindi profit. Kasi pag profit na, minsan, the services, it might improve, but it becomes unaffordable to students who cannot afford.
Yeah.
So yun. So, in the past, some of our student leaders have become national leaders. In particular, syempre, sina Alcet, that they've been trained and all that, sina Christian, si Elijah San Fernando, he was then a student regent of PUP.
Okay.
Naging student, he became one of the youth leaders of Social Watch Philippines, and he is now a congressman. Wow. Under the Kamanggagawa Party.
Right.
Kaya ang laki ng tulong niya in helping us get budget documents sa Congress ngayon. And then siyang nag-facilitate for Social Watch to present ng budget, ng analysis natin sa House Minority. And then he would organize sessions with us to talk about issues and concerns related to public policy making. So ang galing, na-build yung ganung relasyon. At hanggang ngayon ay minemaintain. So we're very proud of him.
Oo. So yung mga iba dyan na pwedeng mag-intern,
Yeah.
volunteer sa Social Watch or members of Social Watch para ma-raise ang awareness, ang ating knowledge, ang ating skills, participation, voice. So, sa social media ninyo, pwede kayong mag-post or mag-share.
And you've also mentioned kanina din, Ma'am Marivic, yung January 18
Oh, yeah.
na you're trying to reorganize
Yeah.
and revive the youth cluster naman din.
Yes. So we have a whole day for on the 18th, that's a Sunday. I think there I'm office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. To find out, to gather the young people and to find out what are their issues and concerns, no?
Uy, maganda yun.
On development more broadly, and then engagement around the budget. So we want to start with where they're at, diba? And then let's see how. Then we will also present to them who are we, what is Social Watch, what we do, and then we'll see if we can meet together and see how we can create a common platform to promote their own concerns and issues, but in a way that falls within the rubric or framework of Social Watch, working together.
Okay yun, ah.
One of our campaigns where there's a lot of youth involvement is our smoke-free campaign.
Oh, yeah, yung
Smoke-free, so tobacco.
Hindi PSFM or part of.
That's part of
That's,
it, yung Philippine
Smoke-Free
Smoke-Free Movement.
Movement.
Yeah. So we have a lot of young people who are working with local communities to promote smoke-free spaces and reduce the use of cigarettes,
Talaga youth yan.
including vape.
Oo, including youth.
Yeah,
I learned. Oo.
yeah.
Okay.
Kasi umaakyat yung use ng vape. And yet,
Targeting the youth.
targeting the youth with so much sweeteners,
Yeah.
yung packaging.
Yes.
And then nabahala kami na ang daming legislative officers, legislators who voted for vape, yung massive entry ng vape into the country. So ngayon, ang dami mong kada kanto may vape shop.
Exactly. Yan ang sasabihin ko.
And yet, the full impact of vape is still being studied. So dapat yung precautionary principle should be at work.
Yes.
Diba?
Parang sabi nga ni Ka-Obet Persola,
Yeah.
you err, E-R-R, on the side of caution.
That's right. That's right. But because the full impact of vape is still being studied, although a lot of disturbing data is already, as we said, hindi siya na papakinggan ng ating public policy makers. In fact, parang nakikita natin ang lakas ngayon ng hold ng tobacco industry sa mga legislators.
Ikaw na ang tumanggap ng malaking cheque. Edited out yun. Di ba?
I
Tumanggap ng
know,
malaking cheque.
exactly. Yeah. Hi, Ethan.
Yeah. Sige. Okay.
O kasi ngayon, dagdag ko lang din kasi the marketing of vape is substitute of cigarettes.
Yes.
Yes. Na parang safer siya.
Yeah,
but it's
exactly. In fact, some say that it is parang an intermediate stage to go into cigarettes.
Ganun.
For many, it does not stop there. It becomes their
prepares
entry
you
level.
to,
to moving to full cigarette. Yeah.
Dangerous. Alright, and then now po, we shared na about the youth clusters na revive. So what are the existing clusters po na meron yung Social Watch Philippines and maybe their top priority in terms of budget?
Pwede tayo mag-share.
Yes. So right now we have several clusters at various levels of activeness. Diba? And the most active would be health and education. Maybe you can say something about the education cluster.
Oo. Of course, yung education cluster ay tama ba? Spearhead ng
Yes.
INET or
Yes.
yung Civil Society Network for Education Reforms na over the last siguro decade na or more than a decade ay nagpakita ng husay at resulta sa advocacy work on the budget around education. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, kundi sa regional level din. In fact, even global. Pero mas malakas din sa regional. So, education, yung isang cluster sa ABI, at ilalabas natin mamaya yung sino-sino yung members
Yes.
other than INET ng ABI Education Cluster. At ang kanilang, over the last few years, ang naging, parang milestones sa budget work. Of course, sa policy work, meron din yan dahil ang INET ay nagpursige din sa ALS, laws on ALS, inclusive education, at saka IP, Indigenous People's Education. In the area of budget work, yung every year yan, consultations with DepEd para mag-suggest, mag-recommend ng increased budgets or additional budget items sa education department, sa education sector. Pero itong mga huling taon nga, ang malaking successes ay on alternative learning systems, ALS yan. Napataas. As you said earlier, na halos na doble yung budget for ALS. At saka yung teachers' welfare. Isa ito sa mga, other than sa inclusive education. Yung teachers' welfare, of course, part of INET ay hindi lang yung sa sektor ng mga estudyante, ng kabataan, kundi din sa mga guro, sa teachers. Yung sabi nila, si Prof. Flora ng INET, president ng INET sa ngayon, yung Magna Carta for Teachers ay 60 years old na, so senior citizen na siya. So parang overdue na for an assessment, for an evaluation of the law, and to enhance it, to update it, to be more responsive to our current context, lalo na ng mga guro. So yun sa education sector, ito siguro yung naging accomplishments ng education sector ng ABI, plus the way forward yan, yung Teachers Welfare Act na i-update, i-assess and i-update, tsaka i-monitor na yung mga naging gains sa budget. Yeah. Baka may dagdag.
One of the strongest clusters, if not the strongest, is education cluster. Largely because ang backbone niya yung INET.
Oo, right.
So there's a very strong, active network, education-focused
Yeah.
network. Ang laking bagay nun. Ang laking bagay. Siguro you can talk about child protection.
Yeah, so for the child protection, if I'm not
The
mistaken,
cluster.
then po, the cluster is with World Vision, Save the Children Philippines, and other networks pa na members din ng cluster na to. And yung pinaka top priority po nila is, of course, there's this online sexual abuse and exploitation of children and child sexual abuse and exploitation materials or SAEC. Pero on top of that is yung the usage of AI, because right now we're seeing now the studies and issues going on na niloload na lang yung picture ng bata and then to create
Yung
exploitation.
deepfake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yung deepfake, using those things para ma-extort yung yung images ng bata, and then pwede nang pagkakitaan and stuff like that. So like ano yung preemptive measure din for that para hindi siya mangyari, and then at the same time the study of AI itself na maging maging age appropriate at the same time. So yun, yung pinaka one of the top priority.
Sa yung agriculture.
Sa agri and environment. Ito, sabi mo nga, nire-revive kasi medyo natulog, pero mahalaga kasing cluster dito eh. At saka sa budget, we need to, tulad ng binabanggit natin kanina, yung food security ay isang dapat top priority agenda, top na nga priority, na agenda ng government, ng national government. So, ang translation nun dapat ay budget. So, ang Social Watch ABI is keen on reviving the environment cluster at dinagdag yung agriculture. So, environment and agriculture cluster. So, dito naman, ang sabi dun sa workshop groups ay, marami nga actually, very, very rich. Nabanggit ko na kanina yung sa organic agriculture. Tapos, yung isa pa ay for agrarian reform communities, yung increase for support services, increase in budget for support services dahil uh, after land reform, hindi naman period na doon, no? Kailangan pa rin ng suporta, especially sa technologies, inputs, training, capacity building, organizing even ng ARCs, ARPs. So yun ay kailangan may budget ang DAR for that. DAR and DA, actually. No? That's in the area of, meron pa, landowners compensation. Yan. Para ma-complete ang land reform dahil overextended na itong programang ito, ay budget din para mabayaran yung mga landowners. Pero question din ako doon, mayaman na nga sila, payayamanin pa natin sila para makomplete yung pag-redistribute ng lupa para sa mga agrarian reform beneficiaries. And then following na yung support services. In the area naman of environment, ang pinag-usapan ay water and flood control. Meron pa ba ako? Ayun. Sa usapin ng water, yung increase ng budget for the local water districts. Kasi ito yung talagang nandun sa local at nagpo-provide ng water supply services sa communities. So ito yung bigyan natin ng tamang attention at saka budget. Pangalawa, yung sa flood control, na mas mag-focus tayo. Ibig sabihin, mas maglagay ng budget for nature-based solutions to flood for flood prevention and control. Hindi yung puro gray infrastructure. Of course, kailangan pa rin talaga ng may physical infrastructure. Pero lakihan din natin ang intervention for nature-based solutions like agroforestry, reforestation, riverbanks strengthening or enhancement, dredging, etc. No? Para mabawasan yung pagbabaha na hindi lang infrastructure ang sagot. Hindi lang, pero kailangan pa rin naman ng infrastructure. So yun ang sa area ng environment and agriculture na syempre ang departments or agencies na kapartner dito ay ang Department of Agriculture, Agrarian Reform, DNR, may isa pa. DBM and NCIP pala. Yun pa pala, nakalimutin ko. Yung ancestral domain titling, nabanggit din natin kanina. Hindi po madali at mabilis yung ancestral domain titling. So, budget din ang katumbas.
Lalo na kung yung, ang kabanggana yung mining interest.
Lalo na sa areas na ang mina, pagmimina, dahil meron kang malakas na kabangga.
Yeah.
Ayun. That's for the nabuo ko yung environment agri-cluster.
Galing mo.
Kasi nila 1 or 2
galing mo.
Kasi doon ako umupo.
Oo nga. Galing.
Yeah, the other clusters are health. Oo. Tapos, persons with disabilities at saka si macro. Macro.
And senior citizens.
And senior citizens.
Walang yan.
Yun. And the health, of course. And social protection. So parang may walong clusters yung ABI.
Yung sa health, yung naging very active yung health cluster sa PhilHealth issue.
Oh yeah, oo pala.
Diba? Of course, within the Universal Health Care Law, pero within the PhilHealth issue kasi nga tinanggalan yung dinero ang PhilHealth in 2025.
Kainis, di ba?
Nagulat na lang kami one morning for the first time. Zinero ang budget, di ba, for PhilHealth. And that's zero. And ang talaga matatamaan doon, yung mga what they call yung premium subsidies for indirect contributors. Yung mga indirect contributors, ito yung mga mamamayan na hindi nakakabayad ng PhilHealth premiums. So may subsidy ang government doon. So anyway, because of that, naging very active ang health cluster around that in sa PhilHealth. Pero the other issues that the health cluster are working on has to do with yung smoke-free and vape-free campaign. Meron din yung syntaxes campaign na galing sa mga sin products. So alcohol, sweetened beverages. Diba? So yan, some of our members are also very active working on that. And then, for a while, we were exploring, looking into yung food security as an important health issue.
Oh,
Kasi we were bothered by the
yun yung inter...
the debt that was being and what was entered into to fight hunger.
Ayun nga sa ADB.
Yung laban sa grupong program ng DSWD. Kasi yan yung intersectionality
Yes.
ng health, food security, agriculture, di ba? It brings it all together.
Even the women and children.
In fact, when we had a conversation around this, nandun ang Women's Legal Bureau and very interested to attend yung PKKK, yung Women's
Pambansang
Rural Congress.
Parang kababaihan sa
Kababaihan.
kanayunan.
Yes, yeah. So there was a shared interest in that. So that could be an ongoing concern that we will be looking at sa health. Of course, malaking issue din sa amin sa health, yung maisip, yung issue ng maisip. Kasi if you look at the DOH budget, ang liit-liit ang binigay sa mga regular programs on disease control, on health prevention, mga regular programs. Tapos lumaki lang masyado yung program for maisip. So tingin namin, this is very questionable. Red flag talaga. So naging issue din to ng matagal.
Again, yung expression ng priority mo.
Exactly. Nakakalungkot talaga. So that's for health. And then sa DSWD naman, and social protection, for the longest time, kasi ang social protection cluster, ang pinupush talaga natin ay universal and transformative social protection. Kasi ang social protection programs natin ay focused on narrow targeting. At alam natin, marami ang exclusion errors ng mga programs natin. No? At lumalabas naman yan sa mga government evaluations themselves. Yung conditional cash transfers, 40 to 60% of participants. 60% ang exclusion error ng CCP.
When you say exclusion error?
Those 60% of citizens who should be part are not part. May inclusion and exclusion.
May targeting na nga yun.
So targeting is a very administratively and technically difficult process. You need a sophisticated, modernized administrative system to do targeting. In fact, targeting is because if you have a weak state, weak administrative system, but by and large, targeting is problematic because exclusion errors are always high and inclusion errors are always also high. Kaya nga, the way to go is to universalize. That's why we push for universal.
Right.
And then within the universal, you can still target natin.
Right, oo.
So hindi natin pinagbabangga. Pero ang priming from a rights-based perspective is universal. And then within universal, you will target yung hard-to-reach groups.
Correct.
You will have to go one step further and target. Okay, open to all, but hindi naman all pareho ang starting point. So doon sa, if you want to level the playing field within the universal, you will target. But yung starting point mo is universal. Diba?
Lalo na kung social protection yan.
Yeah. So, ang nangyayari sa Pilipinas, ang starting point natin is targeting. Poorest of the poor. And then it sounds so progressive.
Kasi walang pera.
Diba? And then they will invoke fiscal constraint. So, I love it that myth has been exploded. Diba? I love it.
Anong walang pera?
Exactly. Excuse me, diba? Exactly. So, sa social protection, we have been engaging the SWD in terms of its programs. And the members of that are yung Unang Hakbang, Children's Groups, Unang Hakbang Foundation, yung COSE, yung Life Haven, yung United Nations group on persons with disabilities, Convention on Persons with Disabilities. So we were working together very closely for a bit and we were engaging the SWD for quite some time. And so now, we have been inactive for some time. So there is, because of renewed interest with the way yung binaboy, yung mga social, yung cash assistance, safety nets, there is a renewed interest on social protection. And so I've been getting calls from many sectors na i-revive, including from our own members.
Kaya shout out dun sa mga corrupt dyan dahil nabuhay ang aming advocacy.
Exactly, dahil sa inyo. Hard to ignore. Exactly.
Hard to ignore and not be angry.
I know, exactly. So related to that, is yung sa persons with disabilities sector, very active sila. So they are pushing for a universal disability benefit.
Okay.
At including also yung improved mobility sa transportation. So madami silang issues.
Exactly, dapat din yun.
Yeah. So these are some of the things that they're working on.
Nice.
And then sa persons with yung senior citizens
Oo.
naman, they're focused, madami may mga very distinct gains na sila. Meron ng pension for indigent senior citizens. But they see again that the exclusion errors are so high. So they want to make it universal. Kahit babaan muna
Yeah.
yung amount
Para lang makalahat.
i-share. Mas widespread na cover. So they're working on that among many others.
The keyword of the day, universal.
Yes.
At may pera.
At may pera.
Fiscal ano na.
May fiscal space.
Yeah, there is. Ayan.
That's right.
New word. Okay, so I think that's it, Ma'am Guy.
Yeah.
So thank you so much po, Ma'am
Sa
Guy.
oras, Mama Rivi.
You're most welcome.
At least 2 calls po siya habang...
Between the interview.
Yeah, busy po si Maribik. Yeah. So, thank you very
And
much.
thank you for listening to us in Social Watch, because PRM is a institutional convener of Social Watch, and there's nothing like increased collaboration.
Yeah.
Diba? Ano yung tulungan.
Especially in these times. We need to come together. Yeah. On all fronts. Nakakagalit, nakakapagod, pero di ba? Sige, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to us. Baka pwedeng i-share ng Social Watch din ito. Sa,
Yes,
diba?
yes.
Yung